Welcome to Brunswick Beat,
Brunswick County's only television news show, brought to you by the Brunswick Beacon. I'm Rachel Johnson.
and I'm Stacy Manning. In addition to an airport with an expanded 5,550-foot runway, 13 businesses have set up shop at the Cape Fear Regional Jetport. 30 people are employed at the airport's various businesses, including 2 maintenance shops, an aircraft interior shop, an aircraft paint shop, rental car, flight school, skydiving, a bait and tackle shop, and a real estate company. More than 70 planes are based at the jetport, which adds to Brunswick County's tax base. It is estimated with the now completed runway expansion, the airport will have a $52 million annual economic impact. Read more about its growth and its impact on our community in this week's Beacon.
It was a typical day in the Birch Pond apartment complex in Charlotte. Neighbors were walking their dogs and talking over a cup of coffee, and children were playing. Jack Miller was walking his dog Kenny while visiting with his downstairs neighbors. While he was out, an aggressive fox began attacking his dog. Miller intervened and the fox retreated, but it didn't stay away. The fox returned about 5 more times. The fox even tried to bite Miller's leg. Miller was able to keep the fox at bay until animal control arrived and killed the fox. The incident brings awareness to North Carolina law that requires all animal bites to humans be reported. Even if your own pet bites you, whether or not you went to the doctor or whether or not it was an accident, Brunswick County Animal Services is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for animal bite investigations and for reporting suspected rabid animals. You can reach an animal control officer 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Mondays through Fridays by calling 754-8204. After 4:30 p.m. or on weekends or holidays, call 911 and a control officer will be dispatched.
It's the year of the small business at Brunswick County Chamber of Commerce. Last week, the Brunswick County Chamber of Commerce welcomed a new chairperson. Angie Sutton, advertising director at the Brunswick Beacon, was named the new chairman of the board for 2012. Outgoing chairperson Tammy Triplett-Keski passed the gavel to Sutton, signifying the start of the 36th year of the Brunswick County Chamber of Commerce. Business development and growth will be the Chamber's focus during the year. Along with the return of the North Carolina Oyster Festival, the Brunswick Stew Cook-Off, and the Home and Garden Show, the Chamber has added a new event for the upcoming year. They will have the first Chairman's Gala, which will be in February.
Bolivia resident Barbara Brunson, 72, died after her car was hit by a pickup truck driven by Danny Chase, 51, of Charlotte. Chase ran a red light on January 18th at the intersection of North Carolina Highway 211 and US 17. Brunson was driving west in a Mazda Miata when Chase's northbound Ford Explorer Sport Track ran a red light and hit Brunson's driver's side door. Both drivers were taken to Brunswick Novant Medical Center, where Brunson was pronounced dead. Chase was treated and released. He was charged with misdemeanor death by vehicle, driving while license suspended, and failure to stop for the red light. Chase was placed under a $15,000 bond.
Last week he was missing, but this week he is wanted. Kenneth Hewitt, 30, of Leland, has been missing since Friday, January 13th. Last week, the Brunswick County Sheriff's Office released Hewitt's information, saying he had been reported missing. But it turns out Hewitt is actually wanted for several charges in 2 counties. Hewitt is wanted in New Hanover County for felony larceny and obtaining property by false pretense, and in Columbus County for misdemeanor larceny. Anyone with information about Hewitt is asked to call the Brunswick County Sheriff's Office at 253-2777. Caretakers. They live in your home. They take care of you and watch over your finances. In some cases, they even control your checkbook. But according to Brunswick County Sheriff's Office Detective Ed Carter, there are also a growing group of scammers that are targeting the elderly. The Brunswick Beacon recently sat down with Carter, who offered some advice on how not to become a victim of a scam.
If a family member notices a pattern of small withdrawals, all in cash, or a lot of purchases or transfers from Western Union, or purchases of money packs or money orders for no particular reason, I can't tell the individual to stop those transactions, but question those transactions. The same thing with our bank professionals.
To read more about the caretaker scam and what to look out for, pick up this week's Beacon.
A 3-judge North Carolina Court of Appeals panel will consider a local libel case next month in Raleigh. Judges will consider the case of senior resident Superior Court Judge Ola Lewis versus local First Amendment activist and political strategist Ed Rapp. Lewis sued Rapp for libel and defamation about comments he made about Lewis during the 2010 Republican primary. A judge sided with Rapp in July, saying Lewis had no basis for the lawsuit, but Lewis appealed the ruling. The matter is scheduled for February 7th.
The monthly DSS board meeting has been rescheduled. The January DSS meeting was originally rescheduled for Tuesday, January 24th, but Chairman Charles Warren recently sent out an announcement that the meeting will be at 1 p.m. Tuesday, January 31st, the day following a court hearing to determine if commissioners have the authority to remove Warren from the DSS board. A hearing is scheduled for January 30th after a judge granted Warren a temporary restraining order to prevent commissioners from moving forward with a hearing to remove him from the DSS board.
Last Thursday, staff at South Brunswick Middle School discovered they were serving up a little something extra in the day's meal. BBs were found in the vegetable soup. According to a spokesperson for the Brunswick County Schools, during the 8th grade lunch block, a student allegedly reached behind the serving line and dropped a handful of BBs into the soup. A custodian eating during the same lunch block discovered BBs on his spoon and immediately notified the child nutrition manager. School and administration officials were notified and investigated the incident. The student was suspended and the incident was referred to law enforcement. Find all of these stories and much more in this week's Beacon, available on newsstands now. Welcome to the Brunswick Beat Sports Report. In West Brunswick's boys basketball action, the Trojans went on a 15-0 scoring run in the third quarter en route to beating Whiteville 60-49 last Friday. As West begins the second half of the conference season, it is focusing first on getting the #1 Class 3A seed from the conference for the state playoffs and then onto a possible conference championship. Because of a bye in the conference schedule and exams, the game last Friday was West's first in 10 days. The victory also completed an 8-game road trip that began December 19th at North Myrtle Beach and included 3 games at Concord and a Christmas tournament and a game at county rival South Brunswick. The Trojans finished the stretch 5-3. In their last home meet of the season Saturday morning at the Dinah E. Gore Aquatic Center, South Brunswick High School senior swimmers had memorable performances. Most notably, senior Steven Sieber set a school record in winning the 200-yard individual medley in 2 minutes and 21.45 seconds. The time also is an automatic qualifier for the regionals next month. In the girls' meet, 2 South seniors helped 2 relays swim automatic qualifying times. In the 200 freestyle, seniors Sarah Shepard and Mackenzie Jones, along with Morgan Gilbert and Rachel Van Nort, won the race. Shepard and Jones, along with Brooke Beasley and Van Nort, finished second to topsail in the 200 medley relay. In the 50 freestyle, Van Nort was first and Shepard second, both automatic qualifiers for the regionals. In the 100 freestyle, Shepard was first and Van Nort second. Both are also automatic qualifiers. Chad McCumbee will try a different kind of racing this year, road racing. He will be part of CJ Wilson Racing. The team is headed to the Daytona International Speedway later this month for the opening round of the Continental Tire Sports Car Challenge, the Grand Am 200, with a 2-car effort and a full roster. McCumbee said the opportunity came up and he thought it would be a nice breath of fresh air. The first race is the Grand Am 200 on January 27th. You can read all these stories and see more great photos in this week's sports section of the Beacon.
I'm out at Brunswick County Animal Shelter today with Stella. She is a beautiful white cat. She's about 8 months old, and her owner was no longer able to take care of her. She's been here since December 22nd. She's just the sweetest thing. Come on out and visit with her, and there's some other cats available for adoption, and dogs too. They're open to the public for visitation from 10 to 4, Mondays through Fridays.
Next month, Vietnam veteran Jim Milstead will travel to Florida to be reunited with a Vietnamese crewmate he thought had died 41 years ago. Milstead, a career Navy man who retired to Brick Landing 10 years ago, recently learned Son No is alive and well and living in Florida. A friend of No's put him in touch with Milstead after finding a photograph of Milstead at a Calabash VFW golf tournament on the internet. Milstead plans to take a plaque from his Navy base in Vietnam to No as a memento when the two are reunited on President's Day weekend in Venice, Florida, where No and his wife now run a Japanese steakhouse.
It started with assorted social gatherings accompanied by delicious appetizers. Whenever Sunset River Marketplace Gallery in Calabash stages an event, patrons ask who provided the tasty food. That was the inspiration behind the Gallery Gals Appetizers, a fundraising recipe booklet the gallery published and launched last year. The book is a compilation of recipes contributed by the Gallery Gals, consisting of gallery employees and friends who have prepared and donated food for gallery events. Copies of the booklet sell for $15 each. All proceeds go to benefit the Lower Cape Fear Hospice and its Life Care Center in Brunswick County. Copies of the recipe book are available at the gallery and other Calabash businesses. For more information, call the gallery during business hours, Mondays through Saturdays at 575-5999.
The Rat Pack is back in town thanks to Sandy Hackett, son of legendary actor and comedian Buddy Hackett. This Saturday night, Old Sammy, Dean, Joey, and Blue Eyes will be crooning and reviving a few of their cool onstage moves at Odell Williamson Auditorium. Sandy Hackett's Rat Pack show is making its Brunswick County debut at 7:30 p.m. In a phone interview Monday, Hackett promised it's a great show not to be overlooked. Produced in conjunction with Hackett's wife, Lisa Dawn Miller, it showcases performances of Rat Pack legends Sammy Davis Jr., Dean Martin, Joey Bishop, and Frank Sinatra. Hackett plays Joey Bishop in the production. The show is part of a 70-city tour in Brunswick County's Community College Performing Arts Series. After the show, Hackett's and others will greet the crowd and sign autographs. Tickets are $27 for adults, $25 for seniors, and $10 for children ages 12 and younger. For more information, call the Odell Williamson Auditorium box office at 755-7416 or log on to bccowa.com.
Get ready because the glitz and glamour of Las Vegas is headed to Brunswick County. The Charlotte Rotary Club's 7th annual Las Vegas Night fundraiser is at 6 p.m. Saturday, January 28th at 101 Stone Chimney Place. The evening includes a full dinner buffet with appetizers at the tables, cocktail service, a carving station, a pasta station, and cake. Keeping with the theme of Las Vegas, the event features 20 blackjack tables, 2 craps tables, 2 roulette tables, a Texas Hold'em room, horse races, and a silent auction. Last year's event sold out with 350 people in attendance. There are 3 semi-grand prizes and a grand prize of a 47-inch flat-screen TV with Blu-ray and surround sound up for grabs, as well as more than 300 door prizes. One lucky winner will receive a 1-week trip to Las Vegas, including airfare. The fundraiser supports local and international charities. Tickets to Las Vegas Night are available by calling 575-0075.
That's all the time we have for tonight, but you can read all these stories and much more in this week's Beacon. If you have comments or suggestions for us at Brunswick Beat, you can email us at brunswickbeat@brunswickbeacon.com. Don't forget to follow the Beacon on Facebook and Twitter. Just search for Brunswick Beacon.
Thank you for joining us, and don't forget to tune in next week for a brand new edition of the Brunswick Beat, Brunswick County's only television news show. We close out this week's show with more action and images from South Brunswick High School's swim team.